What's the mood like in the Cayman Islands following the developments in Switzerland yesterday?
Well, I do think it's a mixed bag right now. The surprise was one, shock, if we can use those words, as people are generally, you don't see this happening to a son of the soil who's been seen as a very positive person in local circles and in the international footballing community. So when you heard these allegations coming down against them, there was a lot of, let's say, open mouth saying, what? Really? And a lot of watching and waiting.
But what type of person is he outside of the football world?
From my limited contact with him outside the football world, he is seen as a hard worker, a very loyal person to people around him, a fun-loving guy who likes to see things done in a very professional manner. That's a general feeling we get when you interact with him. But of course, in recent years, he's been heavily involved in the running of international football, not as easily accessible.
With so much going on for the CONCACAF region in Cayman of late, what effect would it have on the island there?
Well, it's tough to say right now what impact it would have, because we're all watching dominoes fall going down, and we've just got word, just before speaking to you, we got confirmation from CONCACAF that he's been suspended as their president. The executive committee would have taken a decision today. There's an office based here because the president is from here, and he wants to have one working where he's from. So the future of that office now, for me, I would question what's next for them. We also have a tournament coming up this summer. Again, Cayman hosted other tournaments and was seen being able to host them on merit, but clearly having a president would have helped drive that process. Again, a bit early, but one may have a question or two about whether that will go ahead. Planning has been at an advanced stage, so one would think it would continue here. I am not sure otherwise what the next step would be.
Well, obviously, from Bermuda's standpoint, we wait eagerly as well. The press conference with Sepp Blatter today said, obviously, there'll be more. What, if any, have you heard about possibly more from our region being affected by these developments?
I have heard that there can be more names coming. I'm not sure these names would be, nor would I want to speculate publicly on them. And one would think that it's going to be wider than this part of the world. I know we're getting all the attention now, but I'm not quite sure where these arrows are going to fly next. It could be one of many names, and interestingly, anybody who's followed international footballing circles would be saying, okay, Mr. Blatter seems to not be mentioned in any of this at this point in time. Is it possible that his name comes up? You never know.
Yeah. When you heard about the suspension of the president of CONCACAF, have they put someone in charge as of yet? Interim?
Oh, yes. Just as I was speaking to you, I was getting that out there. They have also suspended Eduardo Lee, who was one of the members. One of the senior vice presidents, Alfredo Howitt, has been named as CONCACAF president at this point in time. Also, Enrique Sanz, the general secretary, who has not been well. His struggles with cancer last year have been well documented. We've been told that he has been put on a leave of absence to begin immediately. And Ted Howard, who is the deputy general secretary, will be taking over for him in terms of his administrative functions for the day-to-day business of CONCACAF. So it's quite a shake-up now in light of what was happening. But one would have expected to see some moves like this, because you do need continuity. And with Mr. Webb sitting in Switzerland, the Confederation has to continue despite whatever dark cloud is over it. So it's not surprising to see moves being made. How soon? Yeah. It's expected that they would have moved swiftly, because you do need to move on. And from reputational damage, whether these charges are dropped, whether they prove to be bogus, whether he is convicted, all these down the road, certainly his name has been tarnished to the extent that that's not the man who you want to be president major footballing body in global football, because he's right now sitting with authorities. You've had other people with allegations swirling around them, even Mr. Blatter himself, but nothing in terms of an indictment like this. So certainly from a reputational standpoint, FIFA and CONCACAF especially had to be seen as moving forward.